Good morning, world. Good evening, America. That's right. I said good morning, world, and good evening, America. Because we Americans are actually acting like we're asleep and we don't see what's going on around us. I'd like us to discuss some of the problems that we are facing in this nation, this great nation called America. First of all, I'd like to address the problem, the issue about our state senators. All right. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about, one thing I wanted to discuss is the issue of our senators misrepresenting us. Yes, we put these people, we elect these people we give them terms to go represent us in Congress. But what happens when they go there? Instead, when they go there, they forget about their main purpose. They go there and represent the big companies, the companies that are actually giving them money. The company that send out lobbyists. Actually, I want to address that issue. That word lobby. It really gets on my nerves when people say, "Oh, they're lobbying." To me, lobbying is basically taking bribe. I mean, the company comes in and give you money and says, "Judge this in favor of our company," and because they're giving you big money, you accept it and judge the situation in their favor. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you take money from somebody to represent them and you for a false interest, then that is bribery. You're taking bribe. Now, when they do it in Africa, the whole world sees it as bribe. But when they do it in the U.S., we see that as lobbying. We've actually made it legal. That's the legal term for bribery. Okay. Well, now here's the thing: if we don't stand up together and tell us put a stop to this, America, and tell our senators that we want them to represent us, not those big companies, then I'm sorry, America, but we're not gonna see any change. I want, like, for instance, take the issue of healthcare. We know that a lot of Americans are actually suffering because they cannot afford healthcare, common healthcare. They're, they're suffering. Some of them are sick. They're not at the point of death, and no hospital is going to take care of them because they don't have insurance. It doesn't make sense to me, America, that we actually are not supporting this course for health reform. You know, there are some senators out there that are saying that this health reform is not what America needs. But my question is, have these senators ever encountered what the common American is going through? Have they ever lived their life where you wake up every morning asking yourself, where's my where's my next meal gonna come from? Or how am I gonna take care of this disease? Because there are a lot of Americans out there living with diseases and sicknesses and and are actually waiting till they die because they cannot afford the health care. Now Obama came up with something. He came up with a health reform that states that well, I didn't really get a chance to read the whole thing, but basically it's asking for cheaper healthcare, cheaper healthcare, cheaper insurance for the common American. Now, some people are saying that the government should not step into the health sector with what is happening with the insurance, because then that's creating a socialist government. You know, but think about it. We have a capitalist government, and what has that done for us, America? What has the capitalist government done? What have we achieved by creating a capitalist government? Nothing at all. Nothing. We're still suffering. People are dying for no reason. People are getting up and don't know what they're gonna eat. People are losing their job every day, and America, we're getting in debt every day for no reason. Now, Obama is suggesting a health plan that would actually create competition among the health insurance companies. Now, take your time to ask yourself: have you ever get watch your TV and see a health insurance commercial? No, because there's no competition. These guys are running the industry like they want. It's basically they've created kind of like a monopoly. They're running the health insurance the way they want, and we, the common people, are actually competing for their business when it's supposed to be the other way. Now, America, if we don't stand up and say something to our representatives in Congress and tell them that we need a health reform, that we need lower, cheaper health insurance. Then America, I'm sorry, we are acting like we are sleeping. We are acting like blind men. Another issue I'd like to address, which is very, very important, is Americans blaming the president for jobs not being available. You know, it's it's really funny when I hear people say the government is not doing its job because he promised to create jobs. Think about it. Who creates jobs, America? Does the government create jobs or the common American, the average American? The government can only create so much job. There's a limit to how much job the government can create. It can only create job for the public sector. But when it comes to the private sector, America, we are responsible for creating jobs for ourselves. Now, my thing is, what I suggest to America, to our dear country, is that instead of blaming the president for jobs not being available, why don't you stop and blame those big companies sending the jobs outside to foreign countries like China and Japan? Now think about it. China and Japan are doing good. Their their economy is not as bad as we are, and they have a lot of jobs over there because when the companies here create the jobs, when they create the companies, they feel like it's cheaper for them to take the jobs over there than run it over here. And then at the end of the day, we the Americans we start blaming the government. So once again, stop, think, and react to this. Let's let's ask the big companies. Just blame the big companies. Let's let them know, let the big companies know that we are not gonna sit down anymore and watch them take jobs outside of the country, and watch them not create employment. Yeah. It's very sad when people graduate from college and can't even find a job, or the average American is losing their jobs just because the companies think it's too expensive to run it over here. But the government is doing all it can. The government is actually funding these companies. They're like you know the big their banks and all that stuff. The government is actually giving them money, so I don't see why they cannot create jobs for Americans. So for us to end this recession, it's up to me and you and everybody else out there to let our voice be heard, to let our fellow congressmen and our representatives to know that we didn't send them up there, we didn't vote for them over there to go please the big companies. We vote for them to go represent Americans like me, you, and everybody around us. So if they're not gonna do that, then we will be quick to drop them. Yes, we will drop them. We will actually not let. We shouldn't even let them finish their term. Please. I know some people will come up and say, "Oh man, you don't know what you're talking about," but this is very common sense. I want a country like what it used to be when I came here. I want a country where it's easier for me to find jobs. I want a country where you know I don't have to wake up every morning asking myself where is my next meal or what's gonna happen to me if I get sick. So once again, America, I'm asking you that for answers to these questions, look to yourself. We need to rise up as a nation and let our president know. We need to rise up as a nation and let our representatives know that we're not gonna sit down and let them take us for granted. We're actually gonna take action. Thank you, America. And you'll see me again next week. This is my first blog, by the way, and I hope it's good.